Hello everybody, welcome to Compassion India, magazine bulletin number 5. This week we feature Kuntal Joisher, world's first vegan who scaled Mount Everest twice. This time he talks about doing what no mountaineer has ever done before.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Compassion India Bulletin. Today we have Kuntal Joisher, who's very well known and needs no introduction. He scaled Everest twice, and everybody already knows about his journey. But this time we come up with a whole different side to Kuntal, who's probably not shared before. So let's talk to Kuntal. Hi, Kuntal.
Hey, how are you?
Yes, hi. So I'll just start with the questions that you became vegan in 2002, and you're one of the earliest vegans in India. So, and you've always been a voice for the animals, but you've never really spoken about the other side as an animal lover. So, can you tell us about your journey and how you became a sentient being lover or a voice for the animals?
Right. So, growing up in a vegetarian family, I kind of always remember my parents teaching me that the reason we don't eat animals or the reason we don't exploit animals is because animals are just like us. Animals have families. Like, my mother would point out to a cow walking on the street with her family. And look, they look like us. They can feel pain. They love each other. They take care of each other, similar to how we do. And that is where kind of the seeds were sown that animals are here sharing the planet with us, not kind of for here for us to use and exploit and slaughter for whatever we want to do. They are like us in every kind of facet, uh, and that is where I kind of my vegetarianism came from. But when I went to the United States to do my further studies, I quickly realized that there's a big kind of a gap between my vegetarianism and my compassionate thoughts towards animals. That as a vegetarian, I was still contributing to lots and lots of animal cruelty in form of leather, in form of milk, in form of eggs, and in form of a lot of things that I was consuming and I was wearing on my body. And once I kind of connected the dots that there's no difference between meat and milk or meat and leather, and that all of these things are same and they come from abused and exploited and slaughtered animals, to me it was very clear that I had to take a stand and I had to do something about it. And I could have easily said ignorance is bliss, life is good, apathy is the way to go, and I could have just gone on ahead. But I wanted to kind of take a stand. And as I did my research, I realized that what is directly under my control is what I put in my mouth and what I wear on my body. And that I can change by going vegan, at least from those two bare minimum angles. And it was just a no-brainer. Once I connected the dots that meat equal to milk and meat equal to leather, and if I'm not eating meat, why am I still eating milk, or why am I still wearing leather? It was a no-brainer. If I love animals, I cannot eat animals. I cannot contribute to their slaughter. I cannot contribute to their exploitation. That cognitive dissonance was so came out in open, that I kind of lost my sleep. And for me, it was like going overnight. Whenever I do things in life, for me, I have to take a stand. I can't take a half-ass stand. And nothing against people who gradually transition to veganism. Everyone who decides to go vegan, I think, is a hero in my mind. And while people who say vegan should be the norm, yes, but today vegan is not a norm. So anyone who decides to stand up for the animals is going against what is the society like. So they are my heroes, and they are taking care of the animals. Hopefully we'll live in a society where going vegan is just going to be the normal thing, or actually everyone is just a vegan. And if you're actually not a vegan, you would be like kind of the odd man out. So I hope to live in that kind of a world. But for me, it all started with the ethics that these animals are equals to us, and they have the equal right to live and exist and like we do. And so yes, I'm an animal lover from that perspective, but I think beyond love and compassion, it is the moral and ethical side, which is why I am a vegan. I truly simply do not believe that animals are for us here to kind of slaughter, use and abuse and exploit for our benefit. It just simply, that is what I believe in.
Okay. You know, many people believe that being veganism is just about change in the diet. And I have come across many people who say they are vegan, but I see them wearing leather chappals, or I see them, they're not really clear about the concept of veganism. So, what has your journey been like? Because it's more than just a plant-based diet. It's also about your sustainability, how your carbon footprint. It's all about your spiritual growth, and also it's about empathy. So, how has your journey been? If you can just sum it up along these lines.
So when I went vegan, I went purely for vegan for animals. I went vegan for ethical reasons. But as I kind of started reading more about it and started understanding more about the concept of veganism, learning from a lot of plant-based nutritionists, learning from a lot of environmentalists, the impact that animal agriculture has on our world in terms of climate change, in terms of the inefficiency that it brings to the food system, and just, of course, the cruelty aspect of it. Once I started kind of understanding a lot of these things, I also started shifting a lot more towards uh, kind of having a much broader perspective in terms of veganism. That it is, yes, it is at the fundamental level, it is about the animals. Veganism has everything to do about animals, but it also has everything to do about our planet. It has everything to do about us as well. So it is good for the animals, it is good for the planet, and it is good for our own health and our well-being. It is like win-win for everyone. And that is, kind of the mindset I have today. And again, veganism is a very, very big, a very integral part of my life, a very integral part of my journey, and it will always be. I like telling everyone, yes, I went vegan in 2002. And so when people hear about this, they're like, oh, 18 years as a vegan. And I'm like, but my regret always for my rest of the life is going to be, why didn't I go vegan sooner? Why didn't I know about this sooner? 18 years is, too less. I should have been
Yeah.
vegan, from the birth. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I'm not, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So you have turned vegan in 2002, and you are among one of the earliest vegans that at least that we know of in India. So, after being vegan for 18 years, what is your views about how veganism has progressed in India? How far has it come, according to you?
I mean, the first 4 5 years of my veganism, I was living in Los Angeles. So back then, I really did not have any problems living as a vegan, because the part of Los Angeles I lived in, there was already a vegan revolution happening there. I had access to everything from vegan ice cream to vegan cheesecake to vegan meat to anything vegan, jackets to vegan clothing, all of it. Back in 2002, I had access to everything. But I remember when I came back to Mumbai to start living here in 2007, I could literally count the number of vegans in Mumbai on like my single hand. And I'm like, this is tough. Just dealing with a lot of family members was tricky because they did not understand the concept of veganism. There were no products available. Even the basic things like soy milk were not available, or if they were available, it was imported soy milk that used to cost like super expensive. All of imported stuff was available, but that was really not the way I wanted to go. So yes, I was a vegan, but it's not like I was using a lot of these products. I was just a very, very simple vegan, like a roti, sabji, dal, rice vegan, and there was nothing wrong with that, frankly speaking. But in last 10 years, probably the last decade or so, there has been a revolution in India in terms of plant-based foods, in terms of plant-based mindset. Look at the amount of vegan ice creams in the market today.
Yeah.
Like, I'm spoiled for choices in that sense. That is just the piece of food products. But look at the number of vegans in India. Like, forget counting on one hand. I think there are tens of thousands, probably now I think there are lakhs and lakhs of vegans across India, and more converting into veganism every single day. I would not say converting, but I would say making that connection that we need to take care of the animals, we need to take care of our planet, we need to take care of our bodies, and then making that connection and finally choosing veganism, lakhs and lakhs, potentially, we are looking at crores now, very, very soon, maybe in the next few years. So it's no longer that fringe movement that, some 10 people in Mumbai are following. It's now a mainstream movement that is prevalent across India. And this is not even no longer a city movement. I know there are vegans across second tier cities, third tier cities. There are vegans in villages now, people who are connecting the dots, people who are, saying, hey, ethics are important. Hey, compassion is important. We need to take care of animals. We need to, look at how they are treated, and all of them embracing this lifestyle. So I think we are living in some great times, and next 10, 15, 20 years is going to be, I truly believe it's going to be a big vegan revolution, a big plant-based revolution. And there is no way people won't. It is a movement driven by compassion. It is a movement driven by ethics. It is movement. I'm not going to say right or wrong or these kind of things, but I think veganism has the intent in the right place. It has the heart in the right place. It has the soul in the right place. There's simply no way this movement will not succeed, and that people will join in crores. People are going to join, and this is going to be big. So that's how I think about this.
Yeah, that's such a positive outlook. Now, after this, then I'd like to turn the focus on basically your fitness journey. 4 years after your second expedition, you have turned towards resistance training, and recent pictures of you show that you have taken fitness to the next level. You're Kuntal 3.0. So, what inspired you to go for such a goal?
I would not say that this is Kuntal 3.0. When I finished my last journey of climbing Everest, potentially I was at Kuntal 2.0. And then I have an aspiration of getting to Kuntal 3.0. I would say this is Kuntal 2.01 that you are seeing. I think Kuntal 3.0 is still a decade away. So that is a long, long, long way to go. But kind of going back to what inspired this journey, I have now been a vegan for 18 years and a mountaineer for almost 11, 12 years. In spite of climbing Everest a couple of times, in spite of going on such hard, difficult, super tough, challenging mountain climbing journeys, not just Everest, but many other mountains, I still end up getting asked the question, where am I getting my protein from? And somehow I feel that I have not been able to get this message across, that if I have, kind of taken on such challenges, that there is no issue with my diet, there is no issue with my lifestyle, there is no issue with being a vegan. I think there's some disconnect I've not been able to put across to the people. And I kind of, went back and I said, what's the best way of proving to the people that vegan diet is not nutritional, that it is nutritional, and that there's no lack, or there's not, there's no issues. And I thought, imagine if I could be a bodybuilder, or imagine I could be something where people tend to kind of, attach protein with. Most of the times when people hear about protein, they think of a strength athlete. They will always think of a bodybuilder. They will always think of, that kind of a mindset people will get into. And I said, imagine if I could do that, and then I could also climb a mountain together, like a Kuntal that stands on a bodybuilding stage, on a professional bodybuilding stage, competes. I'm not saying I want to win the competition, but if I can compete at a very, very high level, come down from the stage, and then within few weeks go and climb a big mountain, potentially something like Everest. I don't think any human in the world has ever done that. Stand on a professional bodybuilding stage and then climb a mountain like Everest. I don't think it has been done before. And if I can do that, potentially I could just answer this question one last time, where do I get my protein from? And like prove to everyone that vegan diet is absolutely a very, very good diet that every single human in this world can kind of pursue and be healthy. And look, as a nutrition coach, as someone who is very science and evidence based, I have a very clear understanding that as long as your diet is a well balanced diet and is a well planned diet, a vegan diet, you can definitely be super, super healthy, can reverse so many diseases, lifestyle related diseases. But on the opposite spectrum, you can actually be an elite level athlete and achieve the biggest dreams of your life. And as a nutrition coach, as a nutritionist, I know that. I have looked at science, and I know it for 100% sure. But sometimes when you say something and you tell someone, hey, look at game changers, hey, look at this athlete, hey, look at that athlete, but I want to go one step forward and actually want to do it and say, look, I have done it, and I want to show it to people that it can be done. And if someone like me, just yet another guy who a Gujarati unhealthy software engineer, of course that is someone I was 10 years ago, but if someone like me with no genetic gift of achieving these athletic feats can go on a journey, can put in that effort, can do all the hard work, and be backed by a very good vegan diet, and can achieve such kind of dreams, then anything in this world is possible on a vegan diet. And that is the journey I am on. And a lot of my earlier journeys around Everest were very personal and very spiritual journeys, but this journey is hardcore vegan driven journey. There is no other thing attached to it. I am razor focused. I want to do it just for one thing. I want to show that vegan diet, you can do whatever you want to do, even if you think it is impossible, and it can be done on a vegan diet, on a vegan lifestyle. So that's the journey I am on now, and it is just a start. There is a lot of time to go. There's, as I said, there's a decade to go, but you will keep seeing updates from my side as I go further on this journey.
So great. If anyone can learn anything from you, it's just not to half-ass it, because you've
Yes.
never done that. You've just gone
Don't-
all the way.
Don't
and
half-ass it. Yes.
Yeah. So that's basically the core lesson that we take away from this talk. So very cool, very good, very inspiring as always, Kuntal. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.